and welcome to the Library Show. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Holly Browning, and my co-host Mike Letzley and I have a great show planned for you today. We're going to be talking about upcoming programs at the library, and we have a big space event that's coming in mid-July. But up first, my co-host Mike Letzley is here to introduce us to a special guest. Mike,
Thank you, Holly.
who do we have here?
We have our Juvenile Services Librarian, Stacy Books, who's still relatively new to us, but has fit in so well
Yes.
that we've asked her back to the show again. Already.
Already.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for being here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
So you've been here a short while, but you have some new programming that you're involved in. Can you
Yes.
tell us what the agenda is and what we're going to offer our patrons?
Yes. So I'm hosting a program called Homeschool Hangout.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, and it focuses on different STEAM-related activities, and it's really just it's a chance for kids to come and do those STEAM-related activities and experiments, but also a chance for homeschool families to get together and network and meet one another. So I'm doing that, and then I'm doing the exact same program each month, but it's also on Saturdays, so I'm calling that STEAM Saturdays.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And you held your first homeschool hangout a couple weeks ago, and I thought it went great. My son is homeschooled, and I brought him, and he gave it 2 thumbs up. He said, "So there you go." How do you think it went?
I think it went great as well.
Okay,
we had a
good.
wonderful turnout. We had over 30 people in the room at a time, so I very much appreciate having you there and helping out as well.
Good. I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
We did a great experiment having to do with chromatography. So we separated the dyes and washable markers, and it is a simple experiment, but I think it produces really impressive results.
Yes, it's very neat. I like it.
I got a lot of great feedback. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm excited.
Good. It sounds like it was a success. How often do you plan to do these events?
Yeah, so right now, Homeschool Hangout is going to be on a Friday morning, once a month, at 11 a.m. So typically it'll be the first or second Friday of the month.
Okay.
Yes.
And then how about the STEAM Saturday?
STEAM Saturday will be once a month as well, just on a Saturday, of course, but at the same time at 11 a.m. And it'll be mid to late month, during the month.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So for those unaware, what does STEAM stand for?
So STEAM is an acronym that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math.
Okay.
So it encompasses quite a few different fields there.
Right.
But it's really great because I get to pick and choose different, some of the different fields and then experiments that I want to do or activities. So with the chromatography experiment, that was a science experiment. So I explained the science behind it. We used washable markers and we used coffee filters and water to separate the dyes in washable markers. So we talked about the science of chromatography, and then at the end, once the coffee filters were dry, we turned them into butterflies.
Yes.
So it was a nice little craft. We incorporated art as well.
Yeah. So it used to be STEM, right?
Yes.
And then they added the A.
They added the A for art.
Yeah.
Yes, and I've even heard of, so it was STEM and now it's STEAM, and I've heard of STREAM.
Really?
So introducing R as robotics. As
Wow.
kind of technology.
That would work for the tech center perfectly.
Yeah.
Rob would probably really take that over.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Definitely. That would
That's
be
his forte.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, do we have these events posted on our events calendar? Is it just like 1 month in advance, kind of like usual?
Typically it's, you can find them on our calendar a month in advance. So you do, guests, patrons do want to go onto our website, LebanonLibrary.org. And then at the top of the page, there is a calendar tab. So if they click that, they'll be able to find the event for that month. If they click the event, it'll bring up a registration. So it'll take you through several steps of registering.
So it kind of does it for you. It's that's simple. It's it kind of takes you where you need to go.
Yes, it's very intuitive, but you do want to make sure to sign up, and then sign up each child as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So it'll take you to our Eventbrite registration program, and it'll ask you how many tickets you like. So if you have 3 kids, you want to make sure to register 3. If you have 1 kid, just 1, of course. And they will get a confirmation email that has the date, time, and location
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So the sign up is not only for the nicety of doing it, but you need to know how many are coming and what supplies to get ready.
Yes.
So it's important to sign up.
Very
ahead.
important, absolutely, yes. So I'm going to be holding these programs in our story time room,
Okay.
which is only so big.
Right,
So
right.
plus if we have tables and chairs set up, so we had a really good number for homeschool hangout. We had just over 20 kids.
Yeah.
And then we had over a dozen adults. So if you put all of those people in the
Right,
room
right.
and we're all moving around.
Small siblings as well.
Yes.
You know, that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's important, yes, definitely to sign up those who will be participating.
Okay.
Awesome.
And just as a reminder, what are the ages for the events are geared towards?
Yeah, so these events are geared towards ages 6 to 12.
6 to 12. Okay.
Yeah, so content-wise is appropriate for those ages, but older children and younger siblings are welcome as well.
Okay.
If you think they'll be participating, go ahead and sign them up, just so I know that we have enough supplies to cover everybody.
Okay.
Now you have something also for kindergartners coming up. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually, so that is our juvenile services coordinator, Rachel Schlein. She is starting to do kindergarten readiness kind of mini activities. They are
Okay.
drop in. You don't have to sign up, don't have to register for them, and they take place on our main floor after the 1 o'clock stories and crafts on Mondays.
Okay.
Okay.
And she's going to hold them in June and July.
Okay.
And like I said, it's just a drop-in. And what they'll be doing are just different skills to practice getting ready for kindergarten.
Right. Right.
So those skills can focus on identifying colors, counting, letters, and then they're also interactive. So great for fine motor skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I think that's excellent. It's a great resource for families. That's such a it's kind of it's a fun time, but it's kind of an anxious time as well, because you want your child to, be ready, and you don't know, okay, what should I focus on? Should I focus on, colors or numbers or, just that sort of thing. And I think us providing that, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Why do you think these classes on kindergarten readiness are so popular and important?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of kids don't have classroom experience if they
Yeah,
don't go to a daycare or a preschool. And then all of a sudden when they're enrolled in kindergarten, it's kind of like a shock to them.
Yeah. What do I do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so those skills to get them ready to learn, to go into kindergarten, I think are really important. So they learn not just academic skills, but also social skills.
Social skills, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the social emotional skills of, sharing, taking your turn, following directions. Those are all really important. And we at the library, we try to educate ourselves on what those skills are, what activities can we do to support those skills. And also, all of our programs are free, so why not
That's
just drop in
great.
and try?
I know.
Right.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now you said drop in, and I think you mentioned don't need to sign up ahead for this.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So just like story time, you can drop into Miss Connie's story times any day of the week. And then these kindergarten readiness activities, they are geared towards kids who are getting ready to go into kindergarten. But, it's kids are never too young to learn how to hold a pencil or,
Right.
learn how to sort by numbers. So, feel free to bring younger siblings as well.
Okay.
Awesome.
And just to make sure, is it for maybe kindergartners that are going to be homeschooled as well? Can they? Okay.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes. So, so with my homeschool hangout program, you don't necessarily have to be a homeschool family. I'm not going to double check that
Right,
at
right.
all. And with the STEAM program too, homeschool families can come to that,
Okay.
or public school families. So that was just kind of a chance to get homeschool families together. But especially with the kindergarten readiness and our story times, it's for all types of kids.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you mention, because I think I forgot, I don't know if you mentioned, where is this going to be? Is it in the storytime room or is it upstairs?
So it's going to be upstairs on the main
Okay, so
floor.
that's okay.
Yeah. So once you finish, if you popped into Storytime, once you finish downstairs, come on up upstairs, check out some books, and then you can just kind of pop down at a seat at one of the tables and do some of the activities.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Nice.
that'll be great.
Well, it's so good to have live programs again, and you're
it
helping
is.
us spearhead some of that. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to do it.
We appreciate you being on the show second time now.
Second
Thank
time
you.
now.
Yes. Maybe I'll be a
Putting you on the
regular
credits.
eventually.
That's right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So again, they can find out information at LebanonLibrary.org or 932-BOOK, 932-2665.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, up next, Holly is going to tell us about her new genealogy class.
You can say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time.
One book can be the first thing helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Operation Wonder Park is a go!
There's nothing more powerful than imagination. But don't just imagine. Use STEM to change the world.
Who's with me?
Oh, it's gonna hurt tomorrow.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Welcome back to the Library Show. I'm joined by my co-host, Holly Browning, and Holly's going to talk to us about her brand new class she's starting at the library called Digging for Roots. Sounds like a gardening show, Holly?
Well, that would be lovely,
Yeah.
but it's more about genetic roots than plant roots.
Gotcha.
If it was a gardening class, we would probably be in trouble.
Same
probably
here.
yes.
Yeah.
So no, it's a family history class that's geared towards mostly the beginner, but there are some advanced skills in there. So advanced researchers as well. Can join, but mostly for people that want to get started, learn new skills,
That's awesome.
and basically brush up on old skills and start a family tree, whatever they'd like.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, you did a similar class pre-COVID, am I right?
I did, but I only was able to do one or two before COVID struck.
And it stopped the program
It
for a
did.
good while.
It
Okay.
did, yes.
Well, what have you learned since then in the 2-year interim that you would apply to this new class?
I think I've learned quite a bit because we had so much time. We had a lot of free time. I was able to get in actually a couple of professional classes as well, and I worked really hard on a certificate
Nice.
from the National Genealogical Society on American Studies, geared more towards American family history, things like that. And it challenged me in a lot of ways. I had to write 10 reports.
Yeah.
I haven't written a report in over 20 years, so
Like being back in school.
right. But it was a lot of fun, and not only that, during COVID, as you know, we did a lot of online content. So I decided to basically create like a little family tips and tricks where I did like a 5 or 10 minute video each week on, it could be something different each time. There would be how to document census records, where you can find this website, what you can find on this website, that sort of thing. And it was just a little for our online content, because that was mostly what was happening at the time.
That's awesome. So you did some video content, some online content.
Yeah. We ended up with almost 22 videos.
Did you
That I
really?
have, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we still have them up, so yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So they're available if someone wanted to watch them still.
They are still available. They are on, the library's YouTube channel, and they have
Nice.
their own playlist. Yeah.
Awesome.
So all 22 will be in a row there. So
That's
yeah.
great. Anything else you've learned since you've had the in-person class before?
I just basically I've been able to take the time to brush up on the skills, and getting the certificate is going to help with the class. I think there's a lot more professional skills, that I've learned, as opposed to just kind of doing it in an amateur way.
Right.
Maybe, I guess you could say, the right way to do things, or the right way to document something. And that's I think that's extremely beneficial.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Especially with your class coming up, you can guide people along those lines.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Good.
and another thing that is really huge in genealogy, it's huge in I hated it at first. But citing your sources. There's not another field, maybe besides medical, I don't know, that is so important because that's where false information flies.
Right.
And people just, if it's on the internet, it's true.
Yeah, right.
I find that mostly people believe that, and they just, that was on the internet, yeah. So they just keep circulating things, and you want to have the right information,
right?
Well,
as you know, with a family tree, you get the wrong information starts to branch out into way wrong information.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You get one, you mess one up, and then it just spreads.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is important. Mm-hmm.
So when is the first Digging for Roots class?
The first Digging for Roots class is going to be Tuesday. It's actually June 14th, and that's at 6 p.m. And that will be in the conference room in the Tech Center. So we haven't had a class in there in a long time. So that's downstairs.
So just come on down to the Tech Center.
Come on down to the Tech Center.
The arrows, so to speak.
Right.
Okay. Now, do you want sign-ups ahead for that?
Yes, we do. Just like with Stacy's programs, I like to kind of know how many I'm going to have, and it helps with me being able to actually help you or assist you one-on-one. Right. To know the number that's coming. And that would be, it's the same thing. So you would go to the LebanonLibrary.org, the events calendar tab across the top. You'll find my Digging for Roots class, and it's going to be the second Tuesday of every month. Okay. So far, that's what I have it at. If we need to add more, if there's a big response, I'll add more. Okay. But as of now, it's just going to be once a month. Okay. But it'll take you to our registration Eventbrite, and then you just put in how many tickets you want, if it's going to be you and a friend, or if it's just you, just one ticket, that sort of thing.
Okay. And you said second Tuesday of the month at this point, downstairs in the Tech Center at 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. Yes, yes. Okay. And then I have, if I start getting waiting lists or things like that, I will do. I thought about doing the biweekly or the every other week. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now tell me this: is this going to be a series or repeats each time, or how?
I'm still working on it a little bit, but. I guess it would depend. I'd like to kind of flow with it, kind of like the videos, where if you want to start with the first one, go ahead and sign up for the second one because you'll learn something new. Right. And I will go back on maybe a little bit of the skills that you first learn with each class for those that haven't been, and then I'd like to be able to at least have a small enough class where if you have a problem or I can't find this, how do I find this? I will be able to help you. Right. One-on-one. One-on-one instead of, just kind of getting lost in a crowd.
Right. So, that makes sense. Now, if they can't make the first month or two, can they jump in? Or
yes. Okay. See, then I want to make it, available that way as well to where, you missed that, you can't come.
Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, okay.
Right. So jump in at any time. It's not,
Okay. Well, that's good. Now, what's your favorite thing I got to ask you about researching family history? Because you've learned a lot and you've gotten good at it. What's your favorite part?
The best part about it is I think it would be just the stories. Because, I work at the library. I love stories. Right. So, I think you don't realize how much genealogy, that's what it is. It's about your family and your history and your story. And you're made up of all these different things that have happened in history, and I think history can be so abstract for us because we just, we watch it, and we watch a Revolutionary War movie, and we watch a Civil War movie, and it's actors, and it just happened. But when you know that, your third great grandfather died in battle, and he was there, and then you have family that were immigrants, family that were here, and you realize that you're made up of all the history. Right. And that it becomes personal and it becomes real. And I think people are looking for ways to feel connected. And it's huge. And you're not always, that's another thing that I tell people is you're not always going to like what you find. Right. There's going to be good and bad in everybody's family. Right. So I find that still people will get offended sometimes. And it's like, really? I mean, you weren't there. You can't, you know.
Right.
So
You weren't in the shoes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you have no idea. But yeah, it's just like today's time. Same thing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a different time. But all the stories and the photos that I have accumulated over the past 4 or 5 years, I now have my own, my own personal Facebook
Right.
where I share these stories because I love that. And I think everybody deserves to be remembered.
Yeah.
And there's some great stories. They're better than anything a Hollywood movie producer can make.
Agreed.
So, yeah, and that's what I love about it.
Well, back in school when I wasn't doing so well in history, my grandma said, quit treating it like a subject. Look at it like a story that really happened.
I like that.
And now suddenly when I started looking at it that way, the grades went up because it became
Yes,
real, like you
I
just
like
said.
that.
It became
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
So
And
I
when
think-
you teach kids that, when you teach kids that from the get-go, that becomes something exciting for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what you're aiming at in this class, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. So second Tuesday of the month at this point, 6 p.m., Tech Center, and please pre-register.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you, Holly, for being here.
Absolutely.
And up next, we'll have a space revelation from Mr. Rob, our Technical Center Director.
When you are in space, you can't run down to the store to buy parts. You have to improvise with what you have on your mission. Making is when there is something new that was not in existence at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
It's an incredible sense of accomplishment when you have made something. That's why I make. Now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to the Library Show. The segment that we're having now is our interview with our technical director, Rob White, about the James Webb Space Telescope. Rob, can you tell us a little bit about what's different about this space telescope versus others?
Hopefully nobody's getting tired of this space stuff. You think they are?
Space is fascinating, I hope
I
not.
know. The James Webb is the biggest and probably the most complex telescope ever built to launch. So come July the 12th at 6 p.m. at the library, we're going to be hosting a first image party.
Nice.
For the James Webb. And, I think I've gone over the facts and stuff before, but it's about the size of a tennis court, the sun shields, and it's just fascinating, all the aspects of it. But it's going to give you, instead of Hubble has like your traditional telescope as you would think as far as images. Hubble also has infrared, but James Webb has primarily all infrared, different types of instruments on board to look deeper and deeper and use what they call spectroscopy and the study of the light, so you can determine what the composition and speed and all kinds of things from analyzing this thing.
Wow. So what will they be looking at initially with it?
There's a few things. We're not, there was a committee, so the last 5 years this committee has gotten together and said, okay, what are we going to look at first? Because everybody wants to get some time on the scope, so so they're vying for time, and so I'm not sure. They're looking at a few other, the Eta Carina and a couple other solar systems as far as like galaxies. And the beautiful thing about Hubble is that it's 1 million miles out in orbit. It will look through these gas clouds and stuff. The infrared goes straight through the gas clouds, so we're going to get some amazing images that they're going to be able to take that they've never been able to use before. Plus, with Webb being so far outside of the the Earth's atmosphere, Hubble is in a low Earth orbit, so it just takes it helps a lot. But James Webb is a million miles out there.
Wow!
And so it's going to be amazing, some of the images.
So the distance helps it to see more clearly?
Yeah, they look at the orbits and stuff. There's a Lagrange points, 1, 2, and I think there's a 3. And I'm not sure why they picked L2, which is roughly a million miles, plus or minus 1.5 million kilometers.
Wow.
Everything is there. But yeah, it kind of gets it out away from any of the interferences of Earth and magnetism and light and all that stuff. But the problem, as we saw here the last couple of weeks, it got dinged by a micro meteorite.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so they say it didn't do anything to it. It was a minor disruption in data, is what they were saying. But they tell us that a micrometeorite the size of a grain of sand, traveling at 24,000 miles an hour, cracked the windshield and stuff on like the space shuttle.
Wow!
I mean, it's just hard to bring that in.
Right. Yeah.
It's just
but at
amazing.
That speed, yeah. Well, can you tell us, you said July 12th we'll get some of the first images. Do you know what those will be of, or is it still up in the air?
Yeah, I think they're going to surprise us.
Oh, okay.
Because, we've been seeing these images, prior to July the 12th, and these have been just images for alignment, because there's 18 of those what do you call them?
Octagonal mirrors?
Yes. And I couldn't think of octagonal. But there's 18 of those, so the images that you have been seeing prior to this have been alignment images. So they're getting all these images and kind of putting them all together, and the 18 of these mirrors will make up one giant scope, or one giant lens when they're all focal into this point, and just gathers more light in the infrared light. So that'll come back, and they'll gather that, and they'll run it through these instruments that they've been testing. Some of the instruments had to be cooled to 425 degrees below zero.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's near absolute zero, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's,
Wow.
But it just has to be that cold, so there's no heat wave or interference and stuff, and that's why you have the great big, you see the gold on the mirrors, but then you see like the big layers of sun shield, and that shield is towards Earth and towards the sun, so it keeps the instruments on the other side cool.
Gotcha.
And those shields that you see are about the size of tennis courts.
Okay.
But they say that the telescope itself is about the size of a school bus.
Wow.
Weighs 14,000 pounds, which is a lot.
It's a serious telescope.
Yeah.
Now, what's next for the James Webb Telescope? Like after the initial stuff, do you have any inkling of what they were going to be looking at?
They're going to be exploring these different galaxies and stuff, and looking back, and we're thinking some of the other discoveries that Hubble had, and like up until lately, Hubble was basically the one who discovered dark matter.
Right.
Until they didn't realize it existed until Hubble, and they started looking at these images and stuff, and Lord only knows what Webb's going to see, or Webb's going to find out there.
Right. Much more powerful. Anyway.
Probably somebody looking right back at us too.
Yeah.
It's going to focus on the galaxies and stuff. The other thing that it's going to go with is the exoplanets that they think that are way out there, and I mean I just can't wrap my head around distances. When they say all this stuff, and
light years.
8 billion light years away, and how do you calculate that?
Right.
So
wow.
I just can't even wrap my head around it. But it's going to be amazing so long as it doesn't, everything gets up and running. It seems everything checks okay.
Yeah.
They're still on board for the July 12th images and stuff. And the library is one of 600 in the country that was chosen to kind of represent the Space Telescope Institute, which that runs Hubble and it runs James Webb.
Wow! So we were selected one of 600.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive, and I know a lot of that. You're humble, but a lot of that's due to your persistence.
Yeah, I keep bugging them.
Yeah, well,
but we've just kind of developed a partnership with them. You know, the last 3 or 4 years, we were able to get in with them. Thank you, Mr. Neil Armstrong. You know, and he was able to, with him being from Lebanon, and at the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11, they kind of said, "Hey,
let's clue that in.
Let's look at the Lebanon Library, which is great, and we're working on our STEM projects. Tomorrow night we're launching up at Heisey Park. We're launching some rockets up there that the kids have built.
Awesome.
Yeah, last week.
And that's with your rocketry group?
Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. So we're going to go up tomorrow night, and we have some instruments that we're going to fly, some cameras and altimeters, and we're going to do the old trigonometry, the hand manual way, instead of all these computers.
Yeah, so, the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way. I still don't know how to use the, what's the old...
the slide rule?
The slide rules, yep. I never quite understand.
That either.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure you'll have fun launching them. You did note some fun facts here. I know you have your sheet with you. Do you want to share any of those fun facts?
There's just so many, but the one that really, really got to me was that you see those mirrors that we talked about earlier, and those mirrors are covered in gold. So the amount of gold that's covered, those 18 mirrors, is 48 grams.
48 grams.
Or the size of a golf ball.
Oh my.
And the thickness of the gold is 100 nanometers.
That thin?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know what a human hair is. But,
right.
But yeah, and it's just the reflectivity, I guess, gold.
Yeah.
But there's a beryllium that goes over that and protects it, because if you know gold, it's soft. It's a soft metal.
Right.
So they put that beryllium, but the gold is why they use that, and it just gathers the light in. And, and just like any telescope, the more light that you get in, the better images you're going to see, the more data that you're going to get.
Yeah.
It just fascinates me, some of the stuff. Like I said before, it's the size of a school bus, and weighs 14,000 pounds. Hubble weighed 24,000.
Oh, so it's lighter than that.
Yeah, and then just the instruments is just amazing how cold these things have to be to operate. You wouldn't think that, but
you'd almost think the opposite.
You would. You'd think that you'd have to heat it, because I think space is cold anyway. I would think, at least where they're at. You know. But they just have to take extra measures to keep them super cool and stuff. And then Webb is supposed to send back about 58 gigs of data a day.
58 gigs a day.
And I can't remember how fast. I mean, it's all radio frequencies, so it's going to be sent back. But it's just, and then they'll interpret them, and who knows what we'll see.
Right.
How much other, are there other planets out there? I don't know. What do you think? You think there's other planets out there?
I think there are. Yeah.
We better not start a conspiracy theory. Yeah. Well, Mike said.
Right. And it was on the library.
But there's got to be something else out there. Yeah. And this is Rob's opinion, and does not reflect on the library.
Right. That's amazing.
But yeah, I can't help but think, and with the cool thing about spectroscopy is that when you image with with that software, because I had it on my telescope, spectroscopy, and then you have the prisms and the lenses and stuff like that, you can actually look at stars and determine how hot they are, and just the mass. I mean, you can determine all this stuff from light, and I'm not smart enough to explain all that, but
I wouldn't understand.
But it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, that there's so much more that you can do with the infrared, and
right.
they've got different frequencies, and it's just I just shake my head.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It is.
And you shared with me earlier about James Webb himself. He was a NASA director?
He was a director back in the early 60s.
Okay.
And Kennedy saw that NASA wasn't operating very well.
Mm-hmm.
So James Webb knew nothing about space or nothing like that. He was a pure businessman and went in there and effectively got the space program as far as like, you know, to the moon and stuff, got everything on track and got it up and running.
Wow.
But I think there was politics involved, you know how that always goes. But yeah, he was a director from like, I think 60 to, you know, in those early to mid 60s. And I think he left right before we landed on the moon.
Okay.
So
he kind of whipped it into shape and made it happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think different administrations and stuff and how that goes. But
that's neat.
Yeah, he was basically you know, a CEO, and he was going to run it as a company instead of, you know, look what it is
apparently
today.
It worked, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
One more question. You mentioned your rocketry club. If someone is interested in joining that or being part of that, what would they do? The libraries club, I mean.
We meet on the first Tuesday of each month, and then we launch the following Sunday at Heisey Park up in Waynesville. And there's no fees. We have about 72 or 73 members right now. Yeah.
Wow.
And ages from 7 to, I think, Rick, 77.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got in everything in between. We have college students, you know, and now we're kind of getting a little bit bigger club. So we're, you know, we have the little model rockets that you see, you know, at Walmart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But these guys, we have one member that's testing for his level 2, but he has to have an FAA waiver to launch that thing. So then we have to go up by Cedarville. So and they have a 10,000-foot waiver up there.
Okay.
And he thinks about 5,800 feet for this thing. But now we're loading, like tomorrow night, we're going to put electronics on these things, and you know, and our members are going to learn how to, you know, do the trigonometry, you know, A, B, C angles. So okay, with all my math, it went 800 feet.
Right.
But then we have altimeters that we're going to put in the rockets to measure it, and then we have actually software simulating.
Wow.
So I'll take my laptop up and we'll plug in all the parameters, you know, the wind, the barometric pressure, height, weight of the rocket, the size, and all these things, and we'll see how the software, and then we're just going to go and predict and see what's, you know, right and what went wrong.
Right.
Just kind of take a look at, hopefully inspire,
yes,
you know, some future NASA engineers. And,
yeah, that's right. You could.
But we had 2 now that they're mechanical engineers. A couple of the other guys are retired engineers from GE and P&G, and we've got a member in Indiana. And it's gotten really fun.
Yeah.
You know, because we're building these, and a big thanks to Warren County Parks, who allows us. We're a nationally sanctioned group. Nationally, Association of Rocketry. So we have liability insurance, and we give them a certificate of insurance for the field.
Right.
But we follow all the safety guidelines, and it's a safe sport. It really is.
Yeah.
It's, you know.
Well, it's safe and fun.
Yeah, and educational. You might learn something.
Right.
You know, I've learned all kinds of stuff. You know, we've launched, you know, Raspberry Pis and 3D printed altimeters and all kinds of things. I've 3D printed rockets, and we've launched them, and some worked okay, and others were, you know, the center of gravity was maybe too far ahead of the center of pressure, or vice versa. So, but it's a learning process.
Well, that's neat. Well, good. Well, thanks for being on the show and helping us learn about James Webb. And you said July 12th, will the images start to come in?
Yep, awesome. July 12th at 6 p.m. at the library. We're going to have we'll have a video feed up, and there's going to be some expert panelists, and they're going to kind of walk through what the images we're seeing and explain what they are. And we'll have stuff up as well because NASA's sending us posters and documents, information and stuff for our event as well.
Awesome.
So it's going to be fun.
It'll be a good time.
Yep.
Well, thanks for being on the show, Rob.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Next up, we'll do the calendar for July. Welcome back to the show. We're going to wrap up today with the calendar run through for July 2022. On Tuesday the 12th, we will have the Digging for Roots genealogy class that Holly alluded to. That's at 6 p.m. down in the Tech Center. And then our next chapter book club will be at 6:30 p.m. and that will be on the 6th, Wednesday the 6th of July, and that will continue for each Wednesday of the month. And then on Thursday the 7th of July, we will have chess club, and that will be at 4 p.m. up in the main floor till 5 p.m. and that will continue for each Tuesday of the month. We'll have an author talk at 9 p.m. on the 7th and also at 12 p.m. on the 14th. We also have a homeschool hangout class at 11 a.m. on Friday the 1st. And then the STEAM Saturday that Stacy talked about will be on the 23rd, and that will be at 11 a.m. And then Music on the Main will be at 2 p.m. on the 23rd also. And then Whiz Bang Science will be at 11 a.m. on the 30th. So for details on any of these programs, please check our website at LebanonLibrary.org and also 932-BOOK. And please do pre-register for the programs that would like you to pre-register for them. That's it for today's show. Remember to like us, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and we will see you next month. Thank you.